Hello my dears, this is Sarah from sheholdsdearly.com, and today I want to share with you a simple sewing tutorial. I'm going to be making a bolster pillow with little side ruffles out of ticking. So the first thing you're gonna need for your project is a pillow form. And I like to find stuff either at the thrift store and then I, disinfect them or whatever. But bolster pillows are harder to find. And so my go-to bolster pillow form is from IKEA and it's only $7. It comes in a 16 by 26 size. I love this size. I have a ton of these pillows. To me, a bolster pillow is just the perfect accent for whenever you're doing a setup with pillows. So on a bed, on a window seat, on a bench, on a couch, I always try to have one good bolster pillow to finish off the look. So this is for my bed. I want to bring in a little touch of black in my bedding, and so I got the black ticking. I mean, you can find this at Joann's. I actually get it off Amazon a lot and I'm just really happy with it. I'll put the link below on what ticking fabric I'm using here today. And it is cotton. You're going to want to wash it and dry it so that if there's going to be any shrinkage, it's done before you do all this work. And I have bought a bunch of these. They're beautiful. They are linen pillow covers and they have the little ruffle. I'm actually going to just use this as a guide because I really like these little ruffles and I want my ticking to be just like that. But then it has this beautiful pleating on the front. I've had them so long that the fabric is starting to give out, and so I'm starting to kind of explore other ideas for what I can do with these bolster pillows. But I do have in the back of my mind that I want to copy this exactly and make it in a light gray linen. So let me know in the comments below if that's something you're interested in. I could also do that tutorial on how to make one with the pleats down the middle, which is so vintage, so sweet. This one is just going to be a regular pillow. I'm going to do ruffles on the sides, and I always like to add a zipper because I like to change out my pillow covers. I like to wash them a lot, so I'll be showing you that step. And then I did have another inspiration picture. I feel like I have a lot of wreath type things going on in my room, and so I don't feel like I'm going to do that on this pillow, but this is an inspiration picture that I have of a ticking pillow and then an embroidered wreath on the front. I thought you guys would really like that. I might do that in my living room or something. But I actually have a blog post I wrote a long time ago, and it is how to embroider a wreath, and I have the printout pattern that you can use to put a wreath on a piece of fabric, and I ended up using it on the back side of this chair actually that I'm sitting in right here, and really love it. But I'm not going to do the wreath on this pillow. That might be, I don't know, maybe I'll actually do a third tutorial on bolster pillows. Okay, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is measure your pillow. I already know what mine is because I just looked at IKEA and it's 26 by 16. But actually, you know what? As I measure it, it's so puffy that it looks smaller when I measure it. So my advice is to flatten your pillow as much as possible. And if you're kind of in between, is that 19 inches or is that 20 inches? Go a little bigger because you've got to factor in the volume of your pillow when it's fluffed up. So yeah, this is measuring more true to what the website says. So once you know the size, you're going to write down the two numbers, so 16 and 26 for me. And then I'm going to add in 1 inch to each of those numbers because I've got to come up with my seam allowance. Anytime you're using fabric that has stripes or any type of pattern, need to decide where you want this finished look to land. So I know that I want my stripes to go horizontally. So I need to cut 2 pieces of fabric. A lot of people say do right sides together. And then I'm gonna cut out 2 rectangles that are 17 by 27. All right, I've cut out my rectangles and now it's time to add the zipper. I love invisible zippers and I've had my readers ask me, what is an invisible zipper? It looks like this. And Joann's didn't have anything bigger than a 22 inch. If you can get a 26 inch and you're using this IKEA pillow form, I do suggest it, but a smaller one will work. So I am going to now iron my fabric just to deal with this one wrinkle on this edge. The next thing I'm gonna do is iron my zipper flat. Then you're going to unzip your zipper. This is the most important part of this tutorial. You need to unzip your zipper. Then you're going to pin the right sides together of the zipper to the fabric, and I'm gonna center it on my piece of fabric. The other side of the zipper needs to be falling down onto the actual fabric and not off of the fabric. We stitch that in place. I use a zipper foot on my machine. Okay, so once I stitched the first side of the zipper, then I went and I bent the fabric over and ironed that 1/2 inch seam allowance down. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the other side, right sides of the zipper to the right side of the fabric. And I promise you, this is all going to turn out beautifully if you follow those steps. So I was careful to make sure the ends of my zipper were bending down into the inside of the pillows. That will give you a finished look where the tabs are hiding inside of the pillow, and that's what you want. So we are done with the zipper. That's step number 1. I kind of think that's the hardest part, so that's good to have that done. We're starting to look like this. Now I'm going to show you how to make a ruffle. There's 2 measurements you can use for a ruffle. So depending on how ruffly you want it, you either double the side number where that ruffle is going to go. So it's 16 inches for me. You either double that or you triple it. So I know that I want my ruffle. I'm using this other pillow cover as my inspiration. So I like the width of this ruffle. I think I'll make a 1 inch, and then I'm going to add in a little 1/2 inch for my seam allowance. But here's the tricky part. I'm gonna fold this fabric over. So I'm actually gonna do 1 inch plus 1 inch because that's gonna double when I fold it over. So I need a 2-inch strip. So now I have to figure out, do I wanna do a 32-inch ruffle or a 48? I decided to do the 48-inch because I figured, hey, if it's too much, I can just clip it off, no big deal, but I can't add to it. So I've got a 2-inch strip. I need 2 of these, 48 inches long, and then I'll show you how to make a ruffle. So first of all, we are going to deal with the ends of this ruffle. So you're gonna take the end of your strip of fabric and you're gonna fold it in about 1/2 inch and iron it. Do this on both ends for both ruffles. Then fold it over and go to the machine and stitch that closed. So turn your pillow inside out, so right sides together. And you're gonna take your ruffle and take this raw edge, I call it the raw edge, the one that frays on you. And you're gonna match that up with the other raw edges. Pin that first little section into place. And then your job is to squish this entire strip of fabric into the space that is the edge of your pillow. It's the fastest way I know to make a ruffle. So I'm actually gonna pin it 1/2 inch in from the edge because that's gonna be the bottom edge of the pillow. And so I'm gonna start there. On both of the sides, I'm gonna do that. And now I'm just gonna squish all this in and try to make it as even as possible. Okay, one thing that's helping me not go crazy about getting this ruffle right is I pinned it on the 2 edges, leaving my seam allowance. Then I pinned it in the middle. I'm pinning it at the quarter section, and I don't even measure, I just try to hold it up to make a good point and just kind of guess there. And then all I have to do is squish the fabric into these 4 sections. And it will all come out evenly, so that makes it go a lot faster if I do it that way. Now, before I go stitch this all together, have my big ta-da moment, there is one thing that I must tell you. You must unzip your zipper. like, I don't know, 6 inches or so, or you will sew yourself out of being able to turn this inside out. So open your zipper a little bit like that. So I just want to do this one stitch all the way around, except minus the zipper part. So I'm gonna go ahead, then I'm going to stitch a 1/2 inch seam around here. All right, let's go sew. All right, here it is. We are finished. Let's put it on the pillow. Here we are. So I have another tutorial if you like this one, making a pillow. I have another one that it says established 1776, and there is a printout that you can get from that one and easily print out the design and iron it on your pillow. I hope you feel inspired to try something like this with your Bolster pillows. I love ticking with bedding. I think it's the perfect farmhouse charm, and that it brings in some structure with the lines. So I always love bringing in ticking. All right, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I do post regularly and I share my DIY design advice and our vintage farm life. All right, take care. I will talk to you soon.